How's it going, everybody? My name is Dylan Walker, and I'm here with Yahoo Esports. I've got KingCaffiene and K1pro from Cloud9. You guys won Blizzcon, world champions. How's it feel?
I don't know if I'll ever be able to replicate that feeling again. It was amazing.
Yeah, I hope so. Maybe this year.
And after that, you guys went to China immediately, right?
Yeah, the day after we drove home from BlizzCon, we flew out to Shanghai, where we trained and played for about a month and a half in the Gold League.
Awesome. So you're going to Korea internationally. What teams do you respect? What teams are you looking forward to playing?
MVP Black is probably the one we're looking forward to most from Korea.
So we have a new hero, Zool, the Necromancer from D2. First impressions.
First impressions, his kit seems extremely strong. And it also brings some crazy new things to the table with his level 20 Storm talent, where he gets the ability to reduce enemy healing taken. So he reduces all the healing they take by 75%, and that's a mechanic that hasn't existed in Heroes of the Storm before, and it's going to be a really huge change to the game.
So you can basically like negate an Ancestral if you have to.
Yeah, basically his level 20 negates some characters' ultimate abilities.
Wow, that sounds game-breaking. Let's talk about your history here a little bit. If you had to pick one moment from any public tournament, online or LAN, that was your favorite in Heroes of the Storm, what would it be?
For me, it would be when I made the Entomb play on Leoric against Suna's Butcher, and Artosis and Tasteless were casting. And after watching that moment, like with their casting, it just made my life, you know, because I've watched them cast StarCraft, and they're great casters, and they're really hype. And watching them cast one of my plays, like make a huge deal about it, and like it was awesome.
Yeah, that was the Grand Finals of the America's Championship,
Correct,
right?
yeah, regionals.
Against Tempo. So at the top of North America for a while now, it's been Cognitive, Tempo, Cloud9, and Naventic. So what do you think makes you guys stand apart? What puts you a step above these other teams?
I think we just have all around just better players, player quality, better mechanics. I think our strategy could be a little bit better. You know, that could be why we don't win 100% of our games. But when it comes out to like lengthy team fights and brawling situations, I think we'll always come out on top.
I think we prepare very well for the tournaments we care most about. Like, we always come in with a plan, and it seems to work a lot. Catch people off guard.
So let's talk a minute about the current competitive meta. You guys play this game all day. It's a huge part of your life. How do you feel right now? Do you think that Blizzard needs to make changes, or are you happy with it?
I think they've been doing a lot better lately on making prompt changes to things that the community's been asking for. And right now, I think the meta is crazy. And I think this event will really show that, how much versatility there are in team compositions when everything's actually balanced.
Wow.
I think the game's in a good place right now. Like, a lot of the heroes are getting played right now. There's so many viable heroes in the pool, and there's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff pulled out in this tournament, I'm sure.
So let me ask you a little bit about what you guys were doing before you got involved in Heroes. Cav?
Before I got involved in Heroes, I had kind of like a sordid past, you know? Like, I originally, straight out of high school, I went to the Air Force Academy.
Okay.
Was in the military for a little bit. Ended up bailing out on that and just decided to start working in international business, basically. Did that for a few years, and all this while, you know, I was playing MOBA games, you know, Dota, Han, League, basically whatever was out there. And then as soon as Hero of the Storm came out, it, you know, offered like a shiny new prospect, you know, like a new game. You know, there's not many people who are good at it yet. You know, you can get in there early, and basically if you're good, you know, you can be one of the early pros. And I saw that as a great opportunity, so I jumped on it.
Awesome. Right on. K1?
Yeah, I was actually playing League of Legends. I was living in a gaming house in a challenger team, and while I was there, someone got me an account to play in the alpha for Heroes, and I just started playing there for fun while I was playing League competitively, and I just got hooked on the game, I guess. Like, League, I could only play like 1 or 2 hours a day maybe. Like, I hated it, but Heroes just got me hooked, and I was playing every day, and I had high hopes for the game, so I stuck with it.
All right, well, thanks for coming out and joining us. K1, Cav, we look forward to seeing your games, okay?